The series of the great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, Yud Chet Cheshvan, the 18th of Cheshvan, marks the Hilula of a great Kurdistani rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yitzchak Barzani. Now, I believe this is a date of his passing, the 18th of Cheshvan, but please, anyone, let me know if you know anything different. Now, the Barzani family is a really, really great family with a long chain of great rabbis in of itself, and this rabbi who we're concentrating on over here, I think was one of there was more than 20 or 22nd generation of the rabbinic lineage. Now, Rabbi Yitzchak was born in English year 1892 and passed away in English year 1980. He became a rabbi who became the Din, the head of the Jewish court of a prominent Jewish community in Kurdistan, I think called the Erbil community in of itself, and he would become later on, towards the end of his life, the rabbi of the Moshav in Ha'emek. Let's explore some of the great highlights of the great rabbi's life in of itself. So he was born in Hey Tafresh Nunbet, the year 1892, in an area I think called Safaya, which is in Kurdistan. He came from great rabbinic heritage. His father's name was Rabbi Yitzchak Barzani, and really, really great. As I stated before, 22 generations, they say, of the rabbinic dynasty of the Barzani family in of itself. And he would be appointed as a rabbi, I believe, in the English year 1910. So at that stage in time, he was only 18 years of age. He became a shochet at that point in time, a rabbi that would perform, let's say, kosher slaughter in of itself, and a prominent rabbi in Kurdistan, Bodek also, as well as being a shochet, and very prominent positions. And in the English in 1924, now at that stage he would be about 32 years of age. He was appointed, I think, a rabbi in Baghdad in Iraq, and we spoke about Baghdad before. It had a very flourishing and a great Torah Jewish community at that point in time. He became a rabbi of the congregation in an area called Accra. I believe that's also around that vicinity, and he would become the rabbi of a city called the Kaveh Sanjak, if I'm not mistaken, Koi Sanjak. I hope I spelled that correctly. And then you become the head rabbi of Arbiel and the head of the Jewish court of Din, of the rabbis in that specific area. And he had close connection with the famous Rabbi Yitzchak Noach, I think at that point in time was the head of the Din and the congregation of the Kurdistani vicinity, which we have to mention about also. So it's very, very interesting in of itself. And he had various different positions inside the rabbinate, doing very, very important, let's just say, Torah-related rabbinic works in of itself. It's actually interesting. He was a supporter within regards to the Hatnuat Tzionit, the, let's say, Zionistic movement in of itself. And then in the English year 1935, he arrived in the land of Israel, and he actually attended, like I say, the Israeli Congress over there at that point in time. And apparently it was reported over also he attended the funeral of Rabbi Avraham Yitzchak Kohen Cook, who happened to be, I think, the Ashkenazi chief rabbi for a 14 tenure, I think, between the years 1921 to 1935 in of itself. Then in the English year 1951, he would make Aliyah and move to the land of Israel. So that would be 3 years after the formation of the Medinat Israel in of itself, and he would actually live in and dwell in the Moshav at the time, Ayin Emek Moshav, which I think we've spoken about before. I think it's more in the northern part of Israel in of itself, and very, very great place it was. And he became the rabbi of the Moshav, prominent position of itself. I think this will be a tenure he would keep until the English year 1980, around the time when he passed away. He passed away at the age of 88, and I believe it was on Yud Chet Cheshvan, was 18th of Cheshvan, was the date when he passed away. Now, many of the great rabbis really gave him the most lavish praise with regards to a great rabbi he was in of itself. It's actually interesting. I think he corresponded in various different letters, and I think nowadays it's in the National Library, some of the Torah related letters which he had conversed with different people. Now it's actually interesting. I think he left descendants, and among his son, I believe, Yoel, was chosen to work on behalf of the Mossad. Interesting enough, his brother became a great Kabbalist, Rabbi Barzani, a rabbi I think we've spoken about on various occasions before. He himself passed away in the year 1973 and was a great Kurdistani Kabbalist. And I think also among his brothers was Rabbi Moshe Barzani, who much more can be. I mean, that's a whole topic on itself. I recommend everyone to research with regards to that, about himself, about all his family. Actually, you can maybe we'll dedicate a video for try and do a family tree with regards to amazing Torah-based Barzani family and explore all the rabbis from each of the descendants. That was his brother, and among his grandchildren is a man of the name Shlomo Arbeli, which is very interesting. I think he has a prominent position with regards to the Israeli Defense Forces, if I'm not mistaken. And it's actually interesting. He had a relationship. I think he spoke to Rabbi Yosef Chaim, Chacham Yosef Chaim of Baghdad, the famous Ben Ish Chai. They were in correspondence, and I think the Ben Ish Chai actually quotes him with regards to the topic of minhagim in of itself of the Jewish community of Kurdistan. But I will double check that in of itself. Now, among his Talmidim include great rabbis, including Rabbi Eliyahu ben Zachariah, who I think became the rabbi of the Moshav, the Meitev, which is very interesting. Then Rabbi Moshe ben Mordechai became the rabbi of Tirat HaKarmel. Harav Nori ben Nachum became of another neighborhood in of itself. And Rabbi Shabtai ben Chaim. Rav Shabtai, I think, was the rabbi of the Menucha U'Moatzot Azrot Lachish, which is very interesting enough. Rav Shabtai was another great rabbi of that. He passed away actually on the 10th of May in English year 2011. So it's another great rabbi we are exploring about today, Rabbi Yitzchak Barzani. And let's hope we can go through the family tree at one stage in time. He was a great rabbi in Arbiel, in Kurdistan, and would later on move to the Holy Land and go to become the rabbi of the Ain HaEmek Moshav in of itself. So very, very interesting. And among his rabbis included Rabbi Salman Barzani, another great, once again illustrating just how great the Barzani family in of itself is, how great of a Torah community is. He happened to be the rabbi of the city of Mosul in Iraq and head of the Jewish court over there respectively. So he passed away at English year 1980, and he was 88 years of age at the time of passing. The great rabbi was. So please don't forget to light candles in his memory. Let's learn more about the great rabbis of this year. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the videos. We're a community here. We're learning about many of the great rabbanim. I think we've already covered about maybe 12 or 15 great Kurdistani rabbis in of itself. I think this is actually the third or fourth rabbi we've actually covered. We've done a video on with regards to Rabbi Barzani in of itself, of one of his family members. That is very interesting enough. And it's here towards the 18th of Cheshvan. Some people call it Mar Cheshvan. Naturally, we call that Yud Chet Cheshvan in of itself. So be Hilula today. So please, everyone, like the video, share the videos, and please, if you happen to be related to one of these great rabbis here, which I'm relating over, please send me an email, drop me a comment, and I'd love to hear more information on these great rabbis, because that's what the main purpose, one of the main purposes of this channel is, to learn about the history of the great rabbanim of all these Oriental Spanish countries in themselves. So wishing you all well, take care, and have a great day.